Okay, I think we're here. So, just try and check these levels are looking okay. Looks about right. Welcome to a new Let's Play of a somewhat more modern game than I would normally cover. But I think it's relevant within the setting. This is Pillars of Eternity. Pillars of Eternity was I want to say 2015 game that was made by Obsidian, who, as they will tell anybody who's listening, were a company made from the remnants of Black Isle, who did the Baldur's Gate games, and there's a reasonable amount of overlay with the Fallout games as well. They basically needed a game to boost the studio's chance of surviving, really, and so they went back to the Baldur's Gate games, the Icewind Dale games, and tried to make something modern in the spirit of that, an isometric RPG. They backed this on Kickstarter. They ran this on Kickstarter to get the funding. I seem to recall they got about £4 million in funding. They got a lot of funding from it. I myself was a backer. I was back then. It was called Project Eternity, and and the lead designer was Josh Sawyer, sometimes referred to as J. Sawyer. Josh Sawyer had been, I want to say he was the forum manager for the Baldur's Gate games. Or he'd done some stuff with Black Isle Bioware that was in terms of community management. And then he, I'm not quite sure how, but he managed to get his way into being the person responsible for the Icewind Dale games. If you haven't played Icewind Dale, these were games that used the Infinity engine, the same one from Baldur's Gate and Planescape Torment, and they did basically like simple dungeon crawls in the spirit of Baldur's Gate with the same mechanics. They play more like expansion packs, good fun, but quite throwaway games. Josh Sawyer would also go on to do Fallout New Vegas. I think he does Alpha Protocol as well. And and then Pillars of Eternity and its sequel. Josh Sawyer used to be, when this was backed, he was... he had a heavy presence on the forums. He was very good at the forum management, I would say, or fan management. There were a lot of things that they went to the fans and then listened to, and then other things that they didn't, but they sort of responded to say, well, okay, we are factoring this, but we feel on the balance of things we'll do this. So Josh, and he likes these sort of games that I myself like. So Josh is definitely one of the good guys. He's involved a lot in community, just in helping to develop the community. There's lots of game development convention stuff, lots of talks. If you go on his YouTube account, he'll be the first person to give a hand to any developer and suggestions and lessons learned. And he's very humble with it. So a lot of time for Josh as a person. But he doesn't necessarily have a top tier RPG under his belt yet. He talks a lot about lessons, and I think I don't necessarily see eye to eye with Josh. Obviously, he's released several RPGs. I've released none. So, who are you going to listen to? But when we talk about the designers, Tim Kaine, who is at Obsidian, has got multiple top-class RPGs under his belt that he designed, whereas Josh falls a little short of that. So if you're gonna take advice on building an RPG, maybe look more towards Tim Kaine than Josh at time of writing. I think he's is it Pentiment? Is like a more recent one he's released, which sounds a bit more like up his street, and maybe it's because it's history and he's like a history grad. So maybe Pentiment is the one that makes it. And to be honest, I mean, lots of people will be listening and be saying, well, hold on, like Fallout New Vegas was great, or maybe Icewind Dale was great, It's like, yeah, Fallout New Vegas was great, but it wasn't great because of Josh Sawyer. It was great because Bethesda had already made Fallout 3, and then a lot of the greatness in New Vegas came from some of the brilliant, horrifying but brilliant writing of the sort of the sub-quests. The ones that Josh himself oversaw tended to not be that good. I mean, what's going on with like the whole Julius Caesar thing? It's just not the setting for it, mate. But some of the vaults, the individual vaults, were like, oh god, I remember some of them like just. When I say oh god there, and it's not disparaging them. It was so brilliant. I remember one in particular, the election vault, where I played that, got to the end, and it was about 6 in the evening, and I was just so horrified I just went to bed. Not necessarily fun, but good. But again, that wasn't the part that Josh was on. And Icewind Dale, it's like he inherited almost like every design choice into the first one, and I'd argue the second as well, because it just took 3.5 and D&D and implemented that. And what remains is the narrative to Icewind Dale, which is like wank. I challenge any person to like regale me with like anything more of the plot than like a druid is telling you to not like let something make things colder. I don't remember any characters from those games. I suppose I remember that there was a druid. And these are games I've completed like twice, so it's not like I haven't played them. Anyway, so yeah, but if you're reading this, again, I stress this, that Josh is one of the good guys, and he has done... he's a person you'd want involved in your RPG. He's got a lot of talents that are very useful to fans of the genre, but he's not necessarily the person that you follow for the mechanics. Pillars of Eternity. Right, new game settings. So we can do story time, we can do normal, hard, Path of the Damned, expert mode, and Trial of Iron. We're not going to do anything particularly complicated. It's just going to be normal, straight through. I think that's probably the most reasonable setting to play it on for where we are. I have never completed this game. I played it quite a way through, and its weaknesses got on top of me, and I decided to stop. Will I complete it this time? I don't know, but we'll see.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
It's not just trees we'll be ploughing. Right, cool. So, character creation. I don't remember this. We'll have to go through it as we go. Pillars of Eternity, to its credit, has an interesting approach to character creation. So we've got some races here that will go through there. The races are very balanced, which is okay for theming, because we're the interesting sorts. We all go. Once per encounter, goes and damage. Not gonna need that. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should go. Great strength and tenacity. 15 attacks. Okay. Most to defend against poison and disease. Elves. Burn, freeze, damage reduction. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Let's wood elf it. And the class we're going to go is the Cipher. This was the class I used the first time I played the game, but that was a long time ago. But it was the one that made sort of sense to me. And the reason it made sense to me is because of Whispers of Treason. This was a charm spell, I used to use that pretty much all the time. I think Ice Strike is blind or dazed, so we'll do that as well. Attributes. So this is where it gets kind of interesting. Everything before is kind of just sort of so-so. In Pillars of Eternity, let's compare it to Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale if you prefer, or just D&D. In D&D, you want your fighters to have strength. You want your mages to have intelligence. You want your clerics and druids to have wisdom. And then you can sort of build around that. But in Pillars of Eternity, all these classes will affect different things, or all these attribute points rather. So having an incredibly high intellect fighter who has low might but high intellect and maybe high perception or something is a completely viable build. And you've got these. You can see like intelligence is affecting the duration. By the way, absolutely no spoilers. That's exactly what we're going to be going for, because duration is going to be key to what we do. This is a really interesting thing, and it potentially unbalances Pillars of Eternity. But as I've said before in other videos, it's a single-player RPG. Who the hell cares about balance? Make things interesting. I think this is not a bad system. Sometimes it does mean that it lacks a little something in terms of feel. I really don't care about the rest, so I think we'll just go. Damage and healing, don't care. Action speed is probably useful. Fine. Yeah, I think it's I think it's an interesting mechanic. Whether or not it's always very easy to envisage is perhaps a bit more at the discretion of the player, which is, you know, the swings and roundabouts to that. What does this high intelligence cipher mean? You know, like what does his intelligence or his perception or resolve mean in the context of him? Will it define who he is? I didn't really get a sense of that. I think what they were going for, like Pillars of Eternity to me is like inspired a lot by tabletop, not necessarily D&D, but not necessarily not D&D, as much as it is by video games. And you know, there's something to be said for the flexibility it gives you in terms of creating a character who you could roleplay through. But it also can make things feel a little less tangible. Maybe what I think it's a better system for tabletop, this, than it necessarily. I mean, not that it works for tabletop, because it's incredibly like high mathematics. You know, you're doing a lot of percentage things that are just not. You want tabletop to be, you know, quick and punchy, not slow and, you know, with lots of calculations. What's this? We're basically just going to go, does anything give us intelligence? Yes, it does. Right, okay, so there we go. Alright, I think we're done. Oh, next, sorry. Background. Artist. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think maybe labour, athletics and mechanics are useful. I might just sit with that, to be honest. It kind of looks okay to me. Voice?
Leading the way.
Done. We could name it after ourselves, but I don't feel like that's necessarily the way forward. So there is Lanny. Now let's get some quest stuff going.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that edema is necessarily
Whole area's
word
crawling
I've
with
chosen.
hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks.
Well, okay. Well, hopefully his swollen ankles won't be a problem. Okay, fine.
Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood? Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. In which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker. But see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
So, the concept of us having sickness as a way of getting the plot instilled into us or whatever, that's okay. Why? Like, but we're about to go out, like, running and fighting. What's the... Yeah. I'm not really sure if that makes a great deal of narrative sense.
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one. Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glon. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn. Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
So one of the other problems that Pillars of Eternity has, having just come away from, I don't know which I'll upload first, so spoiler alert, from playing Fallout 1. So there is, if you're seeing this first, know that there are some uploads there which can be made. The dialogue system in Pillars of Eternity is, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Fucking terrible. That's the one. Yeah. Right, so it's just utterly soulless. And part of the reason I don't understand whoever designed the overarching system, not who did the writing necessarily, but who designed the dialogue system. Yeah, it's just terrible because like you might like listen to this and like, okay, well that's not too bad. I can sort of see what's been said and what I still have to ask. But when every system is like this, you end up feeling like a fucking market researcher. There's no like element
nothing you won't
to the
It's
not conversational.
10 times over. God, they grow on a bush that's
it's just
kind of funny looking.
Check through here, and I think in this game and all the whether this or the spin-offs, things like Tyranny and so on. Like I think that there's experience in this. And it's just...
Not if you hurry about, and not if the weather holds up. This time of year, rain mostly. They don't got Audra where you come from? Well, it just grows... It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Like, it's not like the dialogue itself or the writing itself is that bad. Well, it's not that good, but it's not that bad. But the way it's presented, like, I'm a big fan of Yahtzee Croshaw, of Zero Punctuation, and later, before and later, Fully Ramblomatic. But he once talked about, I think it was for the game Dark, of like, speaking like you're in the bloody RPG. Tell me more about these ruins. Tell me more about these berries. It's not, like, one of the things that Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, and even the Baldur's Gate games to a lesser extent, like, there's a conversational element. What are you doing with this?
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep. Kalisha. Kalisha! He needs to find some springberries.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
So we've got a party. Party AI is active. Oh god. I mean, I don't know on this, but the way it was in the Baldur's Gate games leaves me filled with dread. Let's get a bit of a thing up there. So, how will I remind myself? So Lanier starts with a rapier and a stiletto. Oh god, yeah. So there's also this rock, paper, scissors thing that they have going on.
Indeed.
Right, we could equip ourselves, but I mean, I think we'll probably... What was his name? Hayden.
Anyone need supply?
Yeah.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
Yeah. Again, the way this is
Is
written
there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies.
is a little bit... okay, so what's the difference here? Crossbow. 12 meters accuracy versus deflection. Hunting bow. 12 meters accuracy. What was it? So, interrupt 0.5 average. 0.75 strong. But it does it less often, I guess. And the speed fast. Speed slow. Right, okay, I think we'll... Oh, yeah. We'll take a bow. I'm assuming... Yep, okay, I does use that. Cool. Yeah.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Entirely fair, yeah. The stream is not going anywhere.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
And what's this?
We shouldn't
Right, okay. So we've got a young wolf. Right.
stray too far. We shouldn't stray...
Right, Cypher has 7 points of focus, which means I need to
too far. We shouldn't stray too far.
build up some. Now we have it, so we'll use eye bite. Now, back in the day, whether or not it's still the case, I do not know. Back in the day, the health mechanics in this left a lot to be desired.
This is it.
Edema says, I can't believe he's called Edema. It says you're a working man. Maybe I live it. Oh, of a sort, I was a cook. Come here. Either affair with a rich man's wife, and you put back in your head. So why is this dialogue reasonable? Oh. That's interesting. So by default, the cursor is not restricted. So when I reach the edge, I'm on my second monitor. Well, that's... Oh god, that's actually... I mean, it's helpful for OBS, so you'll get some nice clear endings to this, but it's actually kind of annoying. Because you have to sort of hold it like exactly on the cusp. Is it over there? Oh, there's a proper bridge down there. I seem to recall, by the way, does the map... Right, okay, fine. I do... Yeah, that's actually really fucking annoying. This is not something I'm going to hold against pillars, but it does mean that... what's this? We'll loot this. Ooh. Lockpicks and leather armour, I assume. And again, this is the slightly... yes. So Josh Sawyer was talking about the making armor, and he did a video on this, and I put a message in the comments, for what that's worth, which is slightly less than absolutely fuck all. Obsessed with trade-offs. 6 damage reduction, like, but only minus 30 recovery speed, whereas 9 damage reduction, but you know that. So this is equally valid. Just not wearing armour. Walking around in my boxer shorts. It's like, yeah, because then I'll get a better like reaction speed. And it's like, to Josh, that's a good system. To me, armour is a reward. And once you start like okay, so yeah, why is she wearing that if that's that? Once you take away the reward of it, then this is really annoying, the control scheme. I just fucking absolutely tell I'm not going to finish this damn game. There's already just enough quality of life losses for this not to be a thing. Yeah, like, why? Also,
all right, follow me.
Yeah.
Barfel went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Sparfel, are you all right?
Zin.
Ambush!
Right, okay. Well, fair not.
What you need?
I need you to go
Yes?
there. I need you to go there. I need you to go there. You might as well use knock. No, how often is this? 2 per encounter. And you just need... Right. Yeah, again, the UI leaving something to be desired. Right, and he's not... Right, finally... Oh, great. Great, just at the point that he fucking takes down
What
that.
you need?
Right, okay. So that was a complete waste of time. Right, well anyway. Yeah, so it has this system.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
We don't have to get back to camp. Entirely on that shit. Yeah. So our health is not the same as, like, our endurance. Which is... Oh, some beer. It's ironic, isn't it? There's also just something about the combat, like, and I find it very hard to put my finger on it. But something about it is kind of, for God's sake, that it not restrict. I mean, play Pillars of Eternity if you only have one monitor. Or just constantly move left and up and down. Okay. Well. Okay.
What you need?
I need you to go and do that. And oh god, there's loads of them. Can you do that? You might as well have right, does that give him enough? What do we need for it? 10. Okay. Okay, good stuff. That's 10. Okay. And
What you need?
yeah, so auto attack isn't on, so. But yeah, you've just got. There's a lot of things on, which are not necessarily earning their keep. Just, yeah. What was strange on this? Yes.
What you need?
Yeah. Oh, God. There's also this tank. God, this is not good. It's not good. Let's try and reflect. Like, why is this system causing such consternation when the other systems were not? We've played Dragon Age Origins. We've played Might and Magic. We've played the first two Baldur's Gate games. I've played many more things. I've played Fallout, but you may not have seen that by this point. I don't know. I haven't moaned once about the early combat in any of those games. Or if I have moaned, it's been fleeting. Why does this irritate me so? It does, but why? I guess I think firstly there's a sort of loss of pace to it compared to the other games. The second thing is there's something in all the other games that was like, I don't know, it had sort of like a sense of urgency somehow that is sort of lost in this. It just feels quite flat. Blinding strike once per encounter.
What you need?
Have we got no wrong 9?
What you need?
Okay, good. It just feels slow and kind of.
Get inside! Run!
Is this a good way to handle peril?
Was that?
And the answer is no. It's not a good way to handle peril.
A Buick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. What you need?
The cursor thing is killing me. Like, that is so annoying. And it doesn't help that, like, because of the game setup, it's like it's on my mouse side.
That should be far enough. But what?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
Okay.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours?
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put. Those glon...
Please, I just need to lie down for a while.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place...
I'll do my best.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can with this. Like, we're in the first video. I'm like willing myself
Who's
on,
here? See if they left anything useful behind.
but like the way it's laid out. Yeah. I mean, moving the screen to the right is, yes, that is annoying, but like, I'll just reach across and.
Look at the tiles. What are those symbols?
What are those symbols? Oh, do you know what? I'm getting a message from somebody that is much more interesting than this game. Pillars for YouTube 1. Will I play this game again? I don't know. But for the moment, I'm going to go and deal with that because it's just like about a million times more fun. Okay, well, thank you for watching. We'll see if this goes any further. And yeah, I'll see you next time, whether for this game or something different. Bye-bye.